Did you ever see that movie Icarus?
Yeah, I did watch that.
Fucking
crazy.
wild.
I thought it was just insane too how it didn't even really start off the way that it ended. Like he wasn't even really trying to like figure all this stuff out. He just like fell into it.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Total dumb luck.
Yeah, but I mean, since I wrestled my whole life and stuff and pay attention to the international scene, it's like it's not really a secret. Like everybody kind of knows, right? Just like that's the first legitimate, real proof that somebody's kind of come out with. But I mean, everybody kind of knew like that's what's going on.
But that was so insane, though, that they had a hole in the wall where they were handing
the urine
through
samples, right?
the dirty urine and getting back clean urine and then submitting that. And if it wasn't for microanalysis of the jars, then they realized, oh, the Soviets had figured out, well, it wasn't the Soviets, it was the Russians, had figured out some way to open up these unopenable jars because they had scratched them in little places.
Yeah. I mean, they want to win really bad. And it's like for them too, it's a different level. Like the guys that won that were very successful maybe 10, 15, 20 years ago, those guys are like big government positions and stuff. Like in the US, you win the Olympics in wrestling, you win like $250,000 and it's a big deal for like a month. And then you kind of move on. But over there, it's like you're kind of set for life. Really? So it's like, it's like it's a completely different kind of motivation, I think.
Yeah, what is it like competing when you know that there's like state-sponsored programs that are involved in these other countries doping up their athletes?
It's pretty weird, you know. I think that because, like I said, I kind of you grow up with the understanding of it, knowing like this is kind of the way it works. You're ready for it. You're prepared. You understand. And I'm sure I've competed against a lot of guys that were doping and doing stuff, but the one experience that I had that was like really kind of prominent in my mind. So I wrestled this dude. I wrestled a tournament in Rome. This was a few years ago, and I was trying to go up I was in between weights, so my weight was 86 kilos or 97 kilos. I was kind of having a little trouble with my lower back, so I was like, I don't want to cut. I just want to like get bigger. And so I came in, and I was weighing like 210, which the weight class is 213, 97 kilos. And I was like, I'll be fine. Like, I'll be good. And I rolled up to this second round match, and I was wrestling this Iranian dude. And my coaches weren't there with me, so I had like some different coaches, and they didn't really warn me who this dude was. I had wrestled the #1 Iranian guy a few months earlier, and I tech followed him, like I killed him. So I was like, I'm gonna smash this dude. I don't give a crap. This dude comes out, he's like 2 inches taller than me, freaking jacked as hell, and does a forward roll and like squat jump, and his feet are like over my head, and I'm like, what the hell is going on here? And we're just this random tournament in Rome, and I'm wrestling some dude that I don't even know, and he killed me. It's the only time I've ever wrestled a match where like I really got whipped. Like he single leg took me down, gut wrenched me, and he came down from probably like 235. Like he was way bigger than me, and then I got off the mat, and I was like, what the just happened? And then the coach was like, oh yeah, this guy was world silver medalist, world bronze medalist like 5 years ago, but the last 5 years he got banned, he got popped, and so he hadn't competed in 5 years. He'd just been freaking training and juiced. And then he actually, the next round, he beat my teammate Kyle Snyder, who was Olympic gold medalist, the exact same way, like smoked us both. And I was like, what the hell is going on here? So then World Championship that year comes along, and now they're getting tested, and he like went 0-1. So yeah, I was like, all right, like, so I kind of like felt bad about myself at first. I was like, damn, I suck. And then I was like, all right, well, it is what it is, whatever.
Have you ever heard of the enhanced games?
No.
It's a thing they're trying to do where I guess what they're doing is they're allowing athletes, and they're going to do it at the same time as the Olympics.
Okay.
And they're allowing athletes to juice. And they're doing it supposedly responsibly with doctors involved, and they're trying to break all the records.
Yeah. I like it. I think I like that. Let's do it. And just be honest about it. Like, yo, this is the deal. This is what we do. Let's freaking see how far we can go. Because, I mean, I think that's, I don't know. I like, that stuff's interesting to me. The optimization of, like, human performance, right? Like, how far can you get? So, like, let's do it. That'd be fun.
Yeah, it's interesting, right? Because, like, you think about that guy, the Iranian that you wrestled. like, how much of an advantage is it? Like, what, you know, you never know, because a guy like that's probably been juicing his entire athletic career.
For sure.
But, like, what is the advantage? Like, do you ever wonder, like, oh,
I think that I've thought about it as far as the advantages. I never have been interested in trying anything like that. Just, it's not really the culture, like what I'm around in wrestling, in American wrestling. Nobody does that. Well, I won't say nobody, but 99% of guys really aren't doing that, especially because we get tested a lot, like in collegiate athletics and stuff. And it's just something that is kind of very looked down upon in what we do. But it is interesting to think about, like, what would I be like if I was doing these things? Like I can compete at such a high level already, and I have, you know, I think that my biggest asset in wrestling and in fighting is my mind. Imagine, like, my body was and I think that, you know, with time, I'm very disciplined and do things a certain way. Like, I'm going to get to as close as that as I could be. But there is this other, like, level that's kind of unnatural, where it's interesting to think about. But, you know, while I'm competing and stuff, I don't even really. It's obviously not an option, and you know. But at the end of the day, I'm probably going to be. I probably have competed against a lot of guys that are juiced up, and we'll see what the UFC's drug testing program's like, since USADA's over at the end of the year. But it is what it is, man. It's just like I'm pretty confident in myself regardless, and if I'm got to fight a dude that's juiced up, and you're willing to kind of take a back door to try to get an advantage and win, I think that you're probably cutting corners in a lot of other areas as well, which I'm not doing. So, you know, that's something that I feel okay with.
The thing is, when the guy's not cutting corners and juicing and has talent,
I just think that if they're willing to do that, if we're willing to go outside the rules and do that, to me, that's kind of like they're trying to get an unfair advantage. That's like kind of a character thing, right? Like they want to get that advantage. So to me, that means, like, they're fearful that they wouldn't be able to do it without it. Now they're, you know, yeah, they might be doing everything right, but I know that in their mind, like, there's a little weakness there to me, and I can take advantage of that and capitalize on that, because at the end of the day, I'm going to do every single little thing right. I'm going to make sure my sleep's on point, make sure my nutrition's on point, and not only am I going to do this for a camp, but I'm doing this all the time, and I've been doing this since I was a little kid. So, you know, take what you want, do all that stuff, but you're not going to outwork 20 plus years in the short amount of time that you have to, you know, prepare for me. So that's kind of my mindset around it, and it's just the reality of this situation. Like, I'm going to fight guys that are probably doing stuff that isn't, you know, that I'm not doing.